Thank y'all so much for showing up today. This is going to be our mid-session legislative update to give y'all an insight into how things are going for TCA so far and our legislative priorities for this session. I am Noah Jones, Texas Counseling Association Public Policy Analyst, and with me today is Shannon Noble, who is our lobbyist down at the Capitol and our also TCA's General Counsel. So before we get into the bills we're going to be updating you on, we first want to encourage you to attend TCA's Advocacy Days. The sign up for the April 15th date is right there in that QR code, and we're going to be opening up the signups for May soon. But if you email me, I'll make sure to put you down for it. We just wanted to encourage y'all to show up. It's the best way to get involved with TCA's advocacy work. The first bill we're going to be updating y'all on is the state of the Interstate Counseling Compact. It has been filed in the Senate by Senator Sparks of Midland, and it's been referred to the Senate Business and Commerce Committee. Now, last session, this bill passed the Texas House with only nearly unanimously, and then it never received a hearing in the Senate Health and Human Services Committee. But this session, it's been referred to a different committee, so we're hoping that that will help move it along in the process a bit better. I mean, in case you're unfamiliar with the Interstate Counseling Compact, um, it'll allow Texas LPCs, instead of applying for full licensure in other states, they'll be applying for what's called privilege to practice in other states that have the counseling compact, which means that you still have to follow the same rules of the state that you're gonna be practicing in, their full licensure rules, but you'll be able to, it'll be a bit of a quicker process. Um, and they'll have the Interstate Counseling, the Counseling Compact Commission, which will act as sort of a central clearinghouse when trying to clear records and make sure that you're in good standing in the states that you're trying to practice in and in your original state as well. The next one up is House Bill 1716 slash the Senate Bill 469. This is a bill that will allow LPC associates, LMFT associates, and LMSWs to bill clients who are on Medicaid. This bill was also filed by Senator Sparks of Midland in the Senate, and so far it has just been referred to the the Senate Health and Human Services Committee, and it was filed in the House by Representative Darby of San Angelo. And this bill has received a hearing in the House. It received a hearing on the 25th, which was just a little bit ago, and a TCA member showed up, Shannon Higgins. She gave fantastic testimony. So we encourage you to call your House representatives and encourage them to get this bill passed through committee so it can get passed. And then we encourage you to call your senators as well to make sure this bill gets a hearing. It's very important. And additionally, this bill would establish the billing rate for the associate or master's level providers to be 50% of that currently used by the psychologist and the psychiatrist for that billing code as well. Next up is Senate Bill 646. That is the Mental Health Loan Repayment Program. This program was already in place, but this bill is going to be making a few adjustments to it. It was filed in the Senate by Senator West of Dallas, and it's been referred to the Senate Education K through 16 Committee. So this program already exists for our LPCs out there who can apply to join this program. But the program is being opened up to allow school counselors and LPC associates to join this program as well. Um, and it's going to increase the award amounts by $20,000 for each profession from what they currently are right now. And it'll throw in some additional stipends in there as well. For example, if you speak a language of need in the area that you're going to be going to, that'll be an additional amount of stipend you get. If you stay beyond the term of this program, which is 3 years in the area you're at, that's an additional stipend as well. So they are just looking to improve this program, make sure that our mental health professionals get some much needed student debt relief. Next up is Senate Bill 51 slash House Bill 4721. This is a BHAC cleanup bill. Now, this bill was filed last session as well. Um, and I believe, made it all the way through the Senate, but it made it to the Senate floor, but did not get a vote. Um, and this has been filed by Senator Zaffarini of Laredo on the Senate side and filed in the House by Representative Romero. It has not yet been referred to a committee on the House side as well. Um, and what this would do is this is a little bit different than the Interstate Counseling Compact. It would expedite license applications for those providers who were in good standing in other states, but this would be for full licensure, not the sort of privileges to practice we were talking about earlier. It would add the term LPC associate into the Texas Occupations Code, which is we fought for a long time to have our LPC associates referred to, not just have it referred to as some sort of temporary license. And it would remove the 3,000 hour supervision hour requirement for an out-of-state provider in good standing. So, say if you're in Ohio and you've gotten your 3,000 hours, you don't have to come to Texas and get an additional 3,000 hours to be able to practice here if you're in good standing. So far we've talked about the bills that were for, but we need to talk about some of the bills that were also against this session as well. One of those is Senate Bill 400 slash House Bill 789 slash House Bill 7. This specific language we're against is present in a few bills this session. Um, so filed in the Senate by Senator Kolkhorst, which is Senate Bill 400, and it was passed by the Senate but a 28-3 vote back in March. And House Bill 789 has been filed by Representative Swanson, and it's just been referred to committee. But additionally, House Bill 7, which is a priority bill, you'll know their priority because the number on them will be a bit lower, has been filed and heard in committee by Representative Leach. Um, so the issues that we have with this bill, um, so in the bill, it requires parental consent for anything that can be construed or considered to be a psychological or psychiatric test. In this is would be parental consent for anything that's embedded in an in-classroom or academic lesson. Our fear is that this could have a chilling effect on our school counselors because school counselors, as part of their statutory duties, are required to do in-classroom guidance. Um, so we have been trying to push an amendment with these offices to specifically to make sure that this bill specifically uh, cannot be construed to interpret as interfering in school counselor duties. And we sincerely hope that we'll be able to get worked out because we just are concerned about the ability of our counselors to do their job if this bill happens to pass. Next up is one that we're for again. This is Senate Bill 207 slash House Bill 5251. This is excused absences for mental health appointments. Um, so if you're a student in a Texas public school, you may be able to receive an excused absence for your mental health appointments right now, but it's not guaranteed because the current code says appointments with medical professionals, I believe, is what it says right now in the code, or healthcare professionals, I should say. Um, and some districts have interpreted that to also mean mental health professionals, but that interpretation has not been universal so far. And this was a TCA bill from last session that was refiled by Senator Paxton from McKinley. Um, TCA testified in favor of this bill, and we have good news. It has passed the Senate unanimously, passed it on Tuesday, and the House has received it, and we are going to be pushing hard for that to be passed in the House as well. And the House version of it has been filed by Representative Leo Wilson, and it's just been referred to committee so far. But we think this is a good win for a good win, and one of those policies that you're surprised is not already commonplace in Texas schools. We wanted to give some updates on school vouchers. Um, and so school vouchers are a very hot topic issue this session. And because we represent school council as well, we're keeping a very close eye on it. There are House and there are Senate versions of these bills. First of those is House Bill 3, which is filed by Representative Buckley. And that was heard in the House Committee on Public Education on March 11th, which just happened to be our first advocacy day. We had our school counselor, Jackie Cunningham, stay until 5 a.m. to deliver her testimony against the bill, and she did a fantastic job. Um, and this one would grant $1 billion for a school voucher program. but it's not specific in the bill about how much is being offered per student. It sort of just depends on their location, and it depends on the school district. And then we have Senate Bill 2, which was filed by Senator Creighton of Conroe. Um, and this one has already been passed by the Senate, and it was passed through the House Education Committee, Public Education Committee, as of yesterday. And this one would grant $4 billion for a school voucher program. And at TCA, we are opposed to school voucher programs. We believe that they take money which could be used to better fund public education, and takes it and puts it into private schools, which just don't have the oversight of our public schools. Um, so we would encourage you to call your representatives and oppose these bills. We have a little QR code down here for you to scan, um, to find who your representative is, and we just want you to tell them why you think school vouchers are harmful for public education, because there's many a reason. Um, and we're sincerely hoping these bills don't pass this session. We're worried they could have a detrimental effect on public schools. Something that just came up yesterday for us is school counselor pay. Um, so there's been bills floating around this session that would bring up teacher pay. The issue that we've found so far when working with these bills is that the interpretation of educator pay is often not including anyone who's not a classroom teacher. Um, so Senate Bill 26, which was filed by Senator Creighton, this would provide a $10,000 pay increase for classroom teachers. Um, but the issue with that is, again, it's limited just to classroom teachers. Um, no other educators, like your school counselors, your librarians, your nurses, your support staff, none of them are included in that bill, which is a very big issue because um, they're all in public schools trying to help out our students, and they all deserve the recognition, and they deserve the benefits of a pay raise. Um, and then we have House Bill 3. Pardon me, it says House Bill 2. No, actually, it is House Bill 2, filed by Representative Buckley of Salado. And it would raise the basic allotment in our schools by at least $395, which is a good thing. The basic allotment's being raised. Um, And originally in this, it stated that of the basic allotment raise, 75% of that had to go toward pay raises for the faculty and staff in public schools, that excluding administrators. Um, and that 40% of that had to go specifically toward your classroom teachers, your school counselors, your librarians, your nurses, those sort of staff. It had to prioritize them. Um, but the issue is that when this bill passed out of committee yesterday, all the language that included your school counselors, your nurses, librarians was struck out of the bill. So these pay raises would only be prioritizing your school counselors. There is still technically money in there, the other 25% that could go toward your school counselors, but that's just a maybe. We don't know if that money will equal a pay raise. So we encourage everyone to go out there and call your representatives, because this bill is getting fast tracked pretty quickly toward the House floor, and ask them um, to add school counselors back into this bill, because school counselors deserve a pay raise. This one just became a hot button issue for us yesterday. Shannon, did you have anything to add on that one in case I missed anything?
No, I just wanted to clarify because you said school counselor just a while ago when you meant teachers.
Oh,
Um, I just wanted to clarify that school counselors are not getting a pay raise in House Bill 2, and it's only classroom teachers, just like the Senate bill. So please do call your House member because this bill will probably be voted on on the House floor this coming week.
absolutely. It's just important to get out there and let them know why school counselors deserve a raise. Use your personal stories. And if you're nervous, please just reach out to us and we'll be able to help you in contacting your representative, which we just think this is a very important issue. And finally, we wanted to go over some of the anti-LGBTQ bills this session. There's been a lot of anti-LGBTQ legislation that's been filed this session. But we wanted to go over a couple that we're specifically watching because they deal with the counseling profession. The first of these is House Bill 2258, filed by Representative Toth, or Toth, I think it's Toth, of the Woodlands. Uh, and this would create a civil penalty for anybody uh, that helps contribute to the social transitioning of a minor. Specifically, mental health professionals are mentioned in there, which would mean our counselors. And we think this is incredibly harmful to the LGBTQ plus community because often our counselors are out there providing support to people who uh, may be experiencing gender dysphoria. They may just need that extra mental health support, and creating a civil penalty is just harmful for our LGBTQ plus community. Um, and the other is House Bill 4303, also filed by Representative Toth. Actually, I believe this is House Bill 4313 instead of 4303. Um, and this would require mental health professionals to take a course during their graduate program and continuing education on what they call reintegration therapy for individuals who choose to detransition. Um, Not only is this unnecessary because the continuing education requirements are pretty broad as they are, um, but this would be incredibly harmful for the LGBTQ community um, because there's a very small portion of individuals who choose to detransition. Um, and just forcing this upon all counselors is unnecessary, and it promotes harmful and stereotypes about the community as well. And we're fervently against that. Um, but at the moment, these two bills have just been referred to committee. They're not moving, but because they specifically deal with the counseling profession, we wanted to make sure that y'all knew we're keeping an eye on them around here. Um, and that is the end of our scheduled presentation, but that does mean we can move into a bit of a Q&A portion for anyone who has questions for us um, about the stuff that's going on so far this session. We would be happy to talk about it with y'all. Oh, it's House Bill 4311. My apologies. That second Representative Toth bill. So yeah, if y'all have any questions about TCA's agenda this session, what bills are going where, we'd be happy to answer them for you. But I'll go ahead and stop the recording real quick.